Hello, beautiful babes, and welcome to Birdnest Creations. I'm your host, Raven, and let's get into the video. Today, I am going to be drawing my OC Anonymous, and I'm going to be talking about him today, because quite frankly, I like him, and you're going to like him too. He is a multi-dimensional time god who is constantly forgetting who he is and what he's doing in this world, and he causes antics about the multiverse while trying to figure out who the hell he is. I love him, and I think you're gonna love him. I'm gonna be turning him into a book/novel. So far, the standing title of said novel is going to be Anonymous Amnesiac. That may be subject to slight change. Later, we shall see. Knowing my luck, I'm probably going to change it about 90 million times before deciding on what I'm going to do, and it's probably going to be what I first started with, so ain't that just author's luck for you? Anyway, jumping into the actual art end of this, I guess. If you're wondering, I tend to draw in Procreate. Normally, I don't do digital stuff. I'm a traditional artist at heart, and Ohuhu is my god. You get the picture. I mostly do traditional art, and so it has been quite the journey jumping from traditional to digital art. Hence why I don't do it that much, despite the fact I like how it looks. It just looks so clean. But the way I do art, and if you've seen my shorts and my TikTok videos, depending on the fate of TikTok, if you guys are still able to view my TikTok account, court's still in session on that one, quite literally. As of recording this is January 10th, where they're still deciding the fate of TikTok. That aside, politics aside, and TikTok aside, how TikTok wound up in politics beats me. But, Anonymous. I normally draw in Procreate. It's the only drawing app I actually have. And, I believe the sketching pencil I use in Procreate is called Derwent. It came with, the list of things. But the other set that I use in Procreate, it's I'd have to link it in the description, but it's, I don't know how to describe it. I just really like it, and it gives me, old comic book vibes, the way the pencils are. There's, a couple of them I use a lot, and, because whenever it comes to my line art anyway, I'm very much inspired by the old superhero comics back in the day. I absolutely love the old superhero comics, so I like me an expressive line art, even though I don't do it as much as I used to. If I can find it, I'll post a picture, or show you guys a picture of what my old line art used to be, because I used to do very, very thick line art, like the old, the cross-hatching, the weighted line art, whole 9 yards. I used to do all of it, but I don't do it as much anymore. I usually stick to a thicker, more expressive brush and just kind of, hash it out. Because I am too lazy to do that anymore, despite how much I like how it looks. Obligatory burp. I've gotten lazy over the years. But is it really lazy if you're happy with how it looks? Because, I like how my art looks right now. It's just I used to do that, and I did like that, but that was an era. But as you can see right here, I'm starting to ink it, and you can kind of see what I mean. I like me an expressive brush. It just itches the back of my brain in such a way that I really like. I'm trying to think about what else to talk about. I did not write a script for this. I don't ever really write a script for it, and even if I do, the script gets treated more so like a guideline more than anything. Just make me think of the Pirates Code from Pirates of the Caribbean. That is a very old reference by this point. The crowd is out on how many people's actually going to get that, but I get it, and I think I'm funny, so ha ha ha. But yeah. One thing that I really like to do, when it at least comes to me drawing my characters, is I am a very strong advocate for shape language. As you can see in Le Caractère, I really shape heavy. I like very distinct shapes that you can make out in like a character's being. It just makes sense to me. It is how I'm able to differentiate like different aesthetics and vibes of a character. And so with him, it's like very strong rectangles and kind of more sharper angles, because that's just how he is. He's reliable, but yeah, he's very sharp. He has an attitude. He's a little bit of a butthole, but I love him. But I was having issues with picking skin colors, so I just kind of pulled a skin tone thing from YouTube, from like Google, because it was just easier to do that, because I have a hard time picking skin tones whenever it comes to digital, because for those of you who don't know, I'm partially colorblind. I have a hard time seeing yellows and oranges because it just kind of bleeds together and kind of look white in certain angles, so yellow undertones I have a hard time with. Same with orange. And so a lot of the times I have to pull color palettes when it comes to skin tones, because I personally have a hard time seeing them. I have glasses for it. It has pink tinting, but I keep those at work because I work with white and ivory. I cannot tell the difference between the two. In fact, for the longest time, I thought white and ivory were the exact same thing, just with a different name. I didn't think it was a different shade, that in of itself. Until my eye doctor goes, "Huh, I've known you my whole life, but you're colorblind. Ha ha ha. Here's some rose-tinted glasses." Literally. Hopefully that helps. I've never actually seen this before, so I'm partially colorblind, for those of you who don't know. I use those a lot, and it genuinely really helps me kind of pick the vibe that I want to do with my character. What do people talk about in these types of videos? I've seen a lot of videos like this these like growing up and like through the history of YouTube or whatever, I guess. And I always wonder how they come up with so much to talk about. Like, I know part of it is they just kind of sit down and write a script and follow that script. But despite the fact that I'm an avid theater kid and I love theater and I like writing and I like writing scripts, I don't like abiding by scripts. I will write the script. I will not abide by them. I do not like abiding by scripts. It is not fun. So I just kind of improv my way through it. Improv is life, man. What do I gotta say it. I like improv. But yeah, here I just was trying something different. I didn't quite like it because I just kind of darkened the skin color that was already there, but I didn't like how it was looking, so I went back to my tried and true, aka picking a random color and using that as a shader, and just using like the multiply layer, like overlay, depending on what I'm feeling or what looks good. I don't remember what I used this time. I know it's blue, but I don't remember what shader I used. I want to say it was either multiplier or overlay or darker color, because I don't remember, but those are the three I use the most, so whatever. But this is like my favorite way to shade. Sometimes I'll take an even darker color than whatever I'm using and go on the deepest crevices to like really give it some depth depending on what I'm drawing. But I don't do that too much because that's just like a lot of effort, and sometimes I don't want to put in that much effort into it. So usually it's just the one shade and then I add some like a lighting to it. So, but that's just how I do shading. So Anonymous is one of those characters I've had for a really long time. See, the history of Anonymous is kind of scattered. He started off as a Marvel fan character. He went by Puppeteer. And of course, as I said, his name was Adam. He was a villain who could control people with his mind, like puppets, hence the name Puppeteer. And eventually, I just kind of morphed where I gave him more magical abilities, and he could change his appearance through light, and he would appear as different things, hence how he got the name Anonymous. And Anonymous became a hero, a very stubborn and annoying and sarcastic hero, but a hero nonetheless. Slightly villain tendencies, but who doesn't have villain tendencies in their characters? If you're not moral, if you're not morally gray, let's go away. If you know what I mean. That is kind of how he started off as, and as that character progressed over the years, I eventually dropped the name Anonymous and dropped his character design and gave him a total revamp. Now he is still a Marvel character, but he goes by Spade. He's an assassin, and he also has multiple secret identities still. That kind of stayed. He no longer has magical abilities, but he still retains the ability to control people because he's a telepath. And the identity of Anonymous kind of just sat on the shelf to collect dust. I've always loved his character design, and I always come back to draw him. And I think about him off and on quite a lot. And eventually I just kind of decided that I want to bring him back. I don't like his character design just sitting on the shelf collecting dust. I've been in this really big mood of nostalgia this year, where I've just wanted to go back and revamp some of my old character designs, make them into something new, and creating this world for Anonymous is a little bit of a gateway into that. I actually have a couple character designs that I want to bring into this, even though it's not going to be a comic book. At least I know what they look like, and hopefully down the line, whenever I get this published and you guys get to see Anonymous Amnesiac or whatever it's gonna be named by the time it's released, that I hope I do get to keep some of my little drawings for it. That way you guys can see it, because I think that'd be really cool. But I have a couple characters, one of which is a chaos entity, which I have kind of named Zach, nicknamed Zach anyway. I'm really excited to actually get working on it. Right now, I'm kind of still working on True Justice, which is another novel that I'm working on. It's going to be a series, True Justice being the series name. It's about a group of superheroes that are basically just trying to figure out what is actual justice and what the meaning of justice is, and each one are going about it in their own way. All the while, you have a sickly kid named Jay who's discovering a lot of things in his life aren't real, and it never has been. And so you have this kid trying to figure out who he is and trying to just redefine his life. And I am almost done with the first draft. Whenever I'm done with it, I might make a whole video on it, just kind of talking about my process of doing a second draft, because I've never done that before. That, and I just like talking about the stuff I'm writing, because I have no one else really to talk about it with other than like 2 or 3 friends of mine. But I'm sure they don't want to just listen to me ramble about my own stuff all the time, because if you don't know, I'm very autistic and I am very hyperfixated on my own stuff, and my own stuff is my special interest, which makes it very hard. But I adore Anonymous, and he's going to be a lot of fun, because basically the vibe of his book is going to be told like through a journal-esque that he keeps as a reminder to himself, to like remind himself about who he is and what he's done. Because I just think that's a very fun and interesting way to tell a story, is through an incredibly unreliable narrator who is so unreliable they can't even trust themselves to be like, to know fully what's going on, because he does not know what's going on 100% of the time, completely winging it. In fact, he isn't even sure what his entire abilities are. He doesn't even realize he is an actual time god, not until somebody tells him, and then he later forgets again. But he's just a lot of fun. I hated the idea of him going to waste, so I had to bring him back somehow. Also, is there anyone else that's obsessed with the luminescence brush set in Procreate that came with Procreate? Because I am. I think I figured out about like 90 million different ways to use that, like specifically the light brush. I know not a lot of people use it, but it is my golden child. I love it so much. Between that and the Derwent, I use like a total of maybe 3 brushes. I don't use a lot of brushes, but the light brush, the Bohec lights, the Derwent brush, and the medium brush from I think it's like Josh's line art or something. I'll link it below, or like at least give the name below in the description, but those are the brushes I mainly use when it comes to my drawing on Procreate. I've tried other things, but I always go back to these. I like the vibes of them. I like the aesthetic. I like how they draw. They're just very smooth. And yeah. Oh yeah, and the airbrushing tool. I use the airbrushing tool a lot because I use that for lighting. So I'll use the airbrushing tool and kind of blend it out with a blender. Sometimes I overdo it. Honestly, I think in this I really overdid the lighting. But it did turn out really cool, and I do really like it. But I can't wait to get to a point to where I am actually able to share more with you guys, and with it looking like TikTok being taken down is actually going to happen. This is going to be the main platform I stay on. I'm not really going to move to anywhere else. I'm not really wanting to move to anywhere else because I don't like Instagram really. I have an Instagram, but I just mainly post pictures on there and I can't actually engage with you guys. At least on YouTube, there is some form of engagement that you can have with your audience, but it's not as connected as TikTok was. I don't think there ever is going to be a place where you can be as connected as you are on TikTok. I mean, same thing happened with Vine. A lot of Viners moved to YouTube. A lot of TikTokers are moving to YouTube and already have moved to YouTube. There's people moving to Instagram and like going back to Facebook. I never liked Facebook. I have a Facebook, but I never use it like at all. I hate Facebook's. I've always hated Facebook. I have a Pinterest, but you can't really post on Pinterest, and if you do, it's not like it's just nothing will ever be like TikTok. It's never gonna be. And I know, judging just based off of history, because before TikTok there was Musical.ly, and before Musical.ly there was Vine, so there always is gonna be something other. There's always gonna be something more, but TikTok has such a special community, and you're not gonna find it anywhere else. YouTube has tried recreating it. It's kind of, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of TikTok shorts, but it's the closest thing that I get to what I did on TikTok. Instagram Reels, I cannot stand Instagram or Instagram Reels at all. I don't like it. I might go back to doing Tumblr. I never really started doing Tumblr in the first place, but I mean, I have it. So, well, I guess I'll leave you guys and start wrapping this up. If you like what I do and if you want to see more of my videos or hear more of me talking, just like, comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I post when I can. Hopefully I can post more, and I will see you guys in the next video. y'all have an amazing day, and if you're coming here from my TikTok, hi, howdy, and goodbye.